Hello there and welcome back to the Smell of Logic channel. I am Ramona and we're going to be doing something a little bit different with this video. We're trying some different things here. Going over to the advice subreddit. My best friend of 10 years cut me out is the title, and let's see what this pertains to. Ready? Hello all, 24F here, seeking some sort of support on how to go about a problem I've been through. I'm not really sure how to navigate it or to pinpoint it, so I would appreciate some unbiased feedback on where to go with it. So me and my best friend, 23NB, have been inseparable probably since 9th grade. We have been so tightly knit for so long, even through college we kept in touch more or less, especially through our D&D campaign when we had been running for about 2 years now. We've had our moments, but things were relatively smooth until about a few weeks ago. We've had our first fallout ever in April because I chose to live with my parents for a while and save up money rather than move in with them, and they got extremely upset about it. They said they needed a break for a while, and I gave them that, but we didn't talk for an entire month. I waited for them to reach out, and eventually we met up to talk it out, and they expressed things that I could fix, I expressed things they could fix, and I thought everything was all right. A key point for me to fix was to start being more honest. No more sugarcoating and no more beating around the bush because I had a habit of doing that. In the same sense, they said they would work on being more rational with their thinking as well as respecting my decisions to just do things my way. On top of all of this, they urged me to get a new job since my old one had been really affecting my mood, so I did just that. I took their advice and found a new job as a server. The only con is that our biggest day of the week was the day our campaign was on, and as much as I really wanted to spend 4 hours that day in D&D and take the evening off, I couldn't afford it. I work 12-hour days, 4 days a week there, which gives me time to see my boyfriend on the weekends, since I am in a long-distance relationship. Skip forward to my birthday around 2 days ago. My best friend wished me a happy birthday and told me that they hoped I was off today so that I could finally join them after a month of working Wednesdays. I already warned them that if they didn't change the day anytime soon, I wouldn't be able to hop back in, and they just suggested to make things different next week. And the cycle continued. At that point, I just decided it wasn't fair to anyone anymore to keep bailing on them because they were adamant on keeping me in the campaign, so I said that I apologized, but I couldn't do it anymore. I suggested they continue the campaign without me if they can. I understand it was a massive amount of reworking and rewriting, but they've had people leave before and since, and this was for my career, I thought that it would be all right. It wasn't personal, but since I knew everyone else was too busy to squeeze in D&D on weekends, I tried to bring it up before, I thought it would be easier to cut me out for everyone. I knew it was inconvenient now, but surely I figured it would be more convenient in the long run for all of them, and overall just less of a headache. Plus, I wasn't going to sugarcoat it. I promised them that I would stop doing that. Needless to say, that didn't go very well. My best friend just sent me a blunt message saying they felt stupid that they were even thought that I would even care about them again, and then proceeded to block me on everything. I guess they also happened to send private messages between me and them for the rest of our campaign, and each person proceeded to start talking to me as if they were talking through other members. They were all sending me messages saying I was completely shallow for choosing a job over our friendship and over our shared efforts of keeping this campaign alive. I didn't really know what to say other than to say that it wasn't remotely personal, and that my hands were just tied. I work 2:30 to midnight and sometimes later, every day, Monday through Thursday. That was my schedule, and I warned them every time. A role-playing game doesn't pay my bills, and I'm really stuck in a lot of debt, so I have to prioritize my overall livelihood over, well, a game. They told me to quit my job if my employer wouldn't accommodate to my plans, and I thought they were joking the first time I heard that, but now this is what has happened. I think they are serious. It's been 2 days, and they haven't talked to me at all. I feel like I shouldn't be as beat up about it as I am because I really did make this decision for my own good. But I didn't think they would react like this. I'm completely and utterly lost, and I haven't been able to pull myself together. I've been on and off crying about it, thinking about what I could have said that gave off the idea that I didn't care about them and why they were so hurt that I had to leave. I tried to make things work, and they didn't want to budge on the day and time, and I couldn't afford to make it work. It seemed like it made sense in my head, but now they basically blocked me on everything except my actual phone number. I don't think it was a good idea, but I even tried reaching out to their older sister to see if there was something going on in the background because they had a lot of family problems. But their sister proceeded to tell me they didn't want any involvement in me. I guess that's fair, it's none of her business. but I just never really went through this before. It feels like I'm going through a breakup. Everything reminds me of them as much as I don't regret my decisions. I feel like I have to say I'm sorry to try and win them back. Is it worth even trying to get them back? Is it better to just let them go and let that ship sail? My other friends have confided in saying that it seems kind of toxic and that I should bail while I can, but my stomach hurts when I think about it. They have been such an integral part of my life, I feel like I can't function without them. However, it's true, I have a career, a relationship, even medical problems to tend to. I can't sacrifice that all to beg for forgiveness and try to make things work out only for there to be a probability that it won't, or that it will, and then this sort of thing happens again. What should I do? Thank you. I chose this one because I've been part of many D&D groups my entire life. It's actually how I met my husband. Thanks to Randy Croft, who introduced us. But here's the thing. I can only go by what the original poster is telling us. There's always another side to the story. There's always more or less that they're leaving out or putting in. And let's be fair, if you're writing this, you may be asking for advice, but you're also probably not going to tell the whole story of what might have happened on your end. Okay? That's just the way human nature works. But reading through this, her friend's a jerk. The first thing that kind of bothered me is, well, you should get a new job. Okay, and they did. Well, they got that new job, and then they were unhappy with that job because it interfered with their gaming. See, I can say this because I actually have gamed most of my adult life. Grow the fuck up. Sometimes things take precedence. I would love to be able to game again. There's actually a game my husband goes to weekly, but I have to work on that day, and I played for a few months, but they took that day away, and, you got to pay the bills, you got to take care of your family, you got to take care of your responsibilities. Yes, D&D is just a game, and it may be fun, and it may be your social outlet, and you may really, really love it, but it's kind of jerky of these friends, especially the one friend, to get pissed for the OP to actually have a life and have responsibilities. And then to turn around and tell all the other friends, and of course, I'm sure friend 2, or whatever you want, I guess friend 1, told their version of the story, and of course, probably put their spin on it. For the OP, my advice would be to break. You've got to take care of you. You've got responsibilities. You're trying to build a life here. Obviously, you're trying to work. You've got a boyfriend. You're living with your parents, I think they said. You can find other groups. I realize you probably don't want to. You may not always like that idea because it takes a while to get into a new one. But if they're not willing to accommodate you, that's life. I'm not trying to be cold or harsh, but you've got to make the decisions that's best for you. Cutting off your entire friends, that's hard. That's really a tough thing. But it looks like they kind of did it to you first. Sounds like they did. Anyway, reading through the story. The question is, is it better to let them go and just let that ship sail? Yeah. Yeah, it may come back around. Maybe there's stuff everyone's going through. You try to be understanding. But if they turned all your other friends against you for this, that is no friend. I'm sorry, that is a very toxic relationship right there. I hate that term, but that is a toxic relationship. And I'm sorry the OP is having to go through this, because again, that kind of sucks. That you're just trying to be an adult. You're trying to be responsible and mature, and you still want to have your fun and still spend time with your friends. That's amiable. But damn, it sounds like they made the decision for you, and I'm sorry. I hope you can find a better group of gaming friends. I hope your career is going well, and good luck. That's all I can say, because that's pretty shitty. Just saying. I'm not going to read the other comments because honestly, I think people are. Yeah, I'm reading the story and just giving my opinion. That's what this whole video is about. Anyway, I hope you have enjoyed it. We're trying to do some different things here on the channel. We're gonna be testing testing the waters, going further into this. But I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please leave a like or a comment, and go check out another video. There's plenty here on the channel. Appreciate you guys listening and watching, and we'll talk to you later. Bye.